Hello everyone, welcome back to our fourth live. So today's topic is going to be very interesting one, on-prem versus cloud. Please let me know if you can clearly listen to my voice and also see my screen. And one more update I would like to give you guys. We reached 20K followers on Instagram recently. I'm looking for more followers and learners on YouTube. Currently, we are around 2.7K followers. So, yeah, today's topic is on-prem versus cloud. I'm waiting for people to join. Let me know in the comments if you can clearly listen to my voice and also see my screen so that I can start talking about cloud versus on-prem because I got many questions from many different people asking, bro, should I directly learn cloud, for example, AWS or Azure cloud? So that's the reason I thought, okay, let's create a live video on this particular topic so that everyone would be aware what to learn, what not to learn. So that, I mean, can you hear me? Please let me know in the comments. I don't see any comments so far, so I'm just waiting for a green light so that I can start talking about the actual topic. So looks like we have few viewers. Can you hear me? Please, can you just let me know if you can clearly listen to my voice and also see my screen? Yeah. So can you please comment? Hello? Yeah, I think this is good, I guess. So let me start. Yeah, to start off, my first question for you guys is the real question around the cloud should be, can you handle production issues? It should not be like, do I need to learn on-prem or cloud? In general, you should ask yourself, can I handle production issues? Because, see, on-prem is equal to, for example, if I speak about on-prem is equal to full control. All right, you'll have full control plus a lot of pain as well. Because on-prem means you will not have any kind of support. For example, in the cloud, if you have any problem, you are going to reach out to AWS support, or maybe if you're using Azure, you're going to reach out to Azure support. Whereas on-prem, if server goes down, for example, server goes down at 2 a.m., then there won't be no AWS support, no Azure support. I mean, no dashboards as well to check what's going on. I mean, if you have monitoring in place on-prem, that's a different scenario. But reality is you will have just logs and you'll have a lot of confusion what to do on-prem. And in terms of responsibility for on-prem, hardware followed by operating system, then followed by network, disk. Okay, all these are responsibility of a On-prem, I mean, all these things need to be taken care by the engineers. I mean, there might be multiple engineers. I'm using AnyDesk and typing kubectl commands. I will try to answer your questions. Please let me try to talk about this topic, and definitely I'm going to answer all your questions. Please wait for a moment. I'm going to finish. Give me some time, and definitely I'm going to answer all your questions. So yeah, I was saying that this whole part would be the responsibility of DevOps engineers, infrastructure engineers. I mean, we'll have different engineers for different roles, but yeah, sometimes it would be the responsibility of, only DevOps engineer to take care of everything. If it is, let's say, on-prem. And most people, what I saw, they directly start learning AWS or maybe Azure cloud. They don't talk about on-prem at all because see, in the real world, even today, many companies are in hybrid mode. All right, hybrid mode, meaning they have on-prem as well as cloud. All right, if you directly jump into cloud, I'm going to talk in detail about that as well. But yeah, on-prem, one important point, on-prem lets you think more. All right, it will let you think more. This is where real engineers are built. All right, now I'm going to talk about, for example, cloud, what cloud actually is. All right, so let me write it down here real quick and make it a bit bigger. Guys, if you are new to my channel, please wait and listen to this live. I'm going to answer all your questions. All right, so what cloud actually is? If you know the answer, let me know in the comments. What do you think cloud actually is? Cloud is nothing but someone else computer. All right, meaning you are not going to take care of the hardware, whatever I wrote here, hardware, operating system, network, disk, and all. But cloud has different challenges. I mean, because see, if you deploy application and you say for some reason it is not working, all right, application is not working, then you might be thinking, okay, this is the responsibility of a cloud support engineer or AWS support, Google, Azure support. No, it's not like that. Because see, application is not working. The problem can be, for example, security group, or maybe it is, let's say, a port issue, or maybe a DNS issue, but it's not directly related to the hardware side. And this is where things actually matter, because configuration on cloud is your responsibility. It's not that if you are using cloud you can, escape all these problems. But in cloud environments, most of the outages are because of configuration. You did some mistake. Okay, that is the reason your application is not working in production environment. I mean, there are n number of mistakes you can see while deploying to cloud. But yeah, to make it short and precise, I'm saying configuration. All right. Now, if we speak about, on-prem versus, let me write it down here, cloud. Okay, I'm going to write some responsibilities here. For example, on-prem, you are going to manage hardware. All right, you are going to manage hardware, followed by you are going to fix everything. It can be anything. Everything means anything. On-prem servers, hard disk, operating system, networking, whatnot. Everything is your responsibility. All right. And it is slower to scale. Because see, hardware means you need to first purchase the order. First of all, you should have proper clarity on how much hardware is required for running your application in production environment, for how long it will run, how many SSDs, how much memory. I mean, there's a lot to plan in advance to buy the hardware to set up in your office. All right. This would be slower. I mean, it will go across multiple different teams for approvals, from project level, from teams level, from department level. I mean, there are so many different levels involved here. So that's the reason it takes a lot of time to buy the hardware and also to set up. And deep understanding, as I said, you should have very deep understanding about the whole infrastructure, what's going on. All right. For cloud, I'm going to talk in a moment. So on-prem means you'll manage the hardware, you fix everything, slower to scale, deep understanding of the hardware, right? If we speak about the cloud, no hardware, right? I mean, as you know, if you guys are using AWS cloud, Azure cloud, any cloud, you guys know very well, you are directly going and spinning up virtual machines or Kubernetes clusters or Docker containers or maybe key walls. I mean, across the clouds, we have different services, right? So there is no need of hardware. It is not your responsibility to buy the hardware, set up the hardware and stuff. Your responsibility is just to use those services, virtual machines, for example. And one very important point here is scaling is very fast, because there is no dependency on buying the hardware, setting up a proper place for the hardware, and taking a lot of team approvals. Of course, in cloud environments also we need approvals, we will have some budgets and stuff. But yeah, scaling is fast in cloud environments. All right. And if I speak about another important point, very fast you can deploy. Let me write it down here. Yeah, very fast you can deploy anything. You don't need you will not have any kind of dependency. Let's say if you want to test out something, you will just spin up a VM, or maybe you will spin up a container. It's just very easy in terms of cloud. In terms of on-prem, it's very difficult. You need to set up a lot of stuff, you need to install and whatnot. Yeah, to be short about this, it's easy to deploy, and also it is easy to break. All right. It's not like you can deploy something and also you can break productions very fast. The fast you deploy, the faster you are going to break the production environments as well. All right. But one important point, another point I would like to say here, on-prem is going to teach you why things work. All right. I think many of my videos are on-prem because I do have experience in both on-prem and cloud environments. On-prem is, let's say, will teach you why. Because see, you will get to know a lot if you create a virtual machine on your own computer. Just a very basic example I'm trying to answer here. If you create a virtual machine on your computer, then you are going to learn a lot. I think I told about this in many of my videos. Because see, in terms of cloud, you will just visit a portal, for example, AWS portal or maybe Azure portal, and you will just click create virtual machine, right? Create virtual machine, and you will try to select the hard disk and network, and that's it. Your virtual machine is ready within minutes. Whereas if you have to deploy the same virtual machine, you will understand, okay, I need to first of all install a hypervisor, for example. I'm not going to go into many details because I already have a beginner course on my channel. If you are new to my channel, please go and watch that video. You'll get to know what I'm talking here. So hypervisor you need, and on top of hypervisor you are going to create a VM. For creating a VM you need a image, ISO image, right? You are going to download an ISO image. And in terms of networking, you have to make sure you are able to connect from your laptop to your virtual machine. This is very basic stuff, but this will teach you a lot. That is what I mean. In general, here you'll have one public IP address. You're going to use the public IP, and you're going to use SSH keys or maybe the password, whatever the way you want to communicate. That's it. You're not going to know networking. You're not going to know about ISO image, a virtual machine, what is a hypervisor. Nothing is taught here. This is fast, I agree, but these are the fundamentals and basics. If you learn these things, this is a very easy task for you. That's the reason I try to focus more on on-prem, on your laptop, debug, do hands-on. This is this is what teaches you to become a real engineer, not just going and clicking in the portal and okay, I know, bro, I know AWS. It doesn't work. uh, I'm coming to another biggest mistake, very important one, because I am getting a lot of messages. I'm saying a lot. It's not like one or two messages. Many people are trying to message me saying, bro, let me just make it a bit bigger. Yeah, bro, I learned Kubernetes. Okay. And then one more person will say, bro, I did certification in AWS. And one more person will say, bro, I learned Terraform. All right. And then another person will come and say, bro, I deployed some application somewhere, something like that. Okay. So my first question to all of these people would be very simple. Do you know Linux? All right. Do you know Linux? Right? They will say, no, bro, I don't know Linux. This is one of the number one mistake. And then I talk about networking. Okay. Then they say, yeah, they know networking, but up to a point wherein, whatever they were doing, only that part. That's it. Apart from that, if you ask something out of the box, it's gone. Then I will try to ask, okay, I will give you a problem. Can you debug that problem? Or maybe I'll try to give you a small incident wherein can you solve that? He will say, no, bro, I'm not confident enough to solve that. Why? You do not have proper basics. You are trying to blindly follow some video or maybe some tutorial, and someone says, okay, AWS has more market all over the globe. You directly jump to AWS cloud, right? It will not work like that. First of all, your fundamentals, your basics should be very strong. Then only you will be able to crack any kind of jobs. It can be AWS, it can be Azure, Google Cloud, Kubernetes, whatnot. If your fundamentals, Linux, networking, debugging, all these are wrong, or maybe not strong, then not even AWS certification, not even Azure certification, any kind of certification, Kubernetes certification will not help you, because your foundation is weak, right? So no one can help you there. Now let's jump back to what what exactly you need to learn in 2026. All right. I'm not going to give very long, roadmaps and stuff. These are, very basic stuff that I'm going to write down. I'm just, parallel trying to check the chats. Yeah. I don't see people commenting here. So that's fine. No problem. So first of all, make your foundation strong. That's what I would like to convey. Foundation is no go. Without foundation, you cannot survive in any market. It can be a cloud or it can be on-prem. And then one more very important point. In terms of foundation, Linux, I think I already told about this. Networking, I think I'm trying to repeat this, I think multiple times, because by now you have to know how important is it, like Linux, networking and all, how important is it is. And one more important point, local setup. All right, this is very very important. If you have local setup, I'm telling you, definitely cloud is going to be a cakewalk for you. You can do anything on cloud, and also if you come across any problems, you will solve within minutes. I'm telling you, within minutes you are going to solve those problems. And once you are, let's say, comfortable, for example, start with virtual machine first. All right, then you can jump to Docker, everything locally. You don't need, cloud here. And then very simple pipeline. I think I have a very good 2 hours course on my channel, CI/CD pipeline. Very recently I posted. It was going on for a month almost, till now. You can use that. Once you are, very very confident about all of this foundation, Linux, networking, and deploying a virtual machine, working with the pipelines, everything locally, then is the step to jump to one cloud. Okay, it's up to your interest. One cloud, it can be AWS or Azure, and try to do the same stuff. For example, whatever you do on-prem, right? You're doing on-prem, you're trying to create a virtual machine and all of that stuff, you're trying to deploy a pipeline. Try to do the same stuff on cloud, and you will know, you'll get to know, I mean, lot of different stuff within on-prem and cloud. Try to compare. Okay, this is how on-prem works, this is how cloud works. The reason I'm telling you about this, because if you go to interviews, for example, this will be very very useful, because you are very strong in fundamentals. If you worked on-prem, definitely cloud is going to be very very easy, and you will be able to, debug problems very fast, compared to, people who are directly jumping to cloud, because they don't have, proper knowledge, end to end knowledge they do not have, in terms of, networking or processes or hardware or image. There are so many different stuff on prem will teach you, right? And then this is also one of the main point, I think I am repeating myself again and again, because this is very important, debugging. I think you guys know from my videos, reels, everywhere, I try to talk majorly about this. So I'm not going to discuss more, because this particular point is the place that is going to get you hired in 2026, for example. All right. Because see, if your fundamentals are strong and if your debugging is strong, then definitely you are going to get hired, and also you will learn a lot from this. All right, now you decide, cloud versus on-prem. All right, what would you choose? Okay, let me know in the comments, what do you think? Because see, if you can debug something, all right, on-prem or cloud, if you can debug, if you can solve problems, then it doesn't matter if you are learning cloud or on-prem, because companies will see if you can solve real problems. They don't care if you have learned on-prem or if you learn cloud, because every company, as I said, has hybrid environments. All right, hybrid means companies work on on-prem as well as cloud. So both are very useful in 2026 as well. As of today, we are speaking 2026 April. And another important point, one last point, then I'm going to jump back to questions. Most people directly jump to learning tools. Okay, most people are trying to jump on learning different tools. It will not help you. Try to build projects. I think I showed many videos on my channel. You can follow my series and try to follow a proper structured path. If you want a clear roadmap, for example, according to your experience and stuff, let me know in the comments, or maybe reach out to me on Instagram. I also have a top mid page wherein you can book one-to-one calls. I take some calls during the weekends. And in terms of the playlist, for example, this is the CI/CD pipeline tutorial I was talking about, full 2 hours course. If you see, you can do hands-on practice as much as possible. And there are many other playlists on my channel that you can go through and start learning DevOps by doing hands-on. Start with on-prem and then slowly you can jump to cloud. Focus majorly on these fundamentals. These are very, very important skills. This will help you get job very soon. All right. Now let me jump back to our comments and let me answer the questions. Guys, do we have any comments? I see only one comment. Let me check. Yes, I see using AnyDesk and typing kubectl commands. I didn't get your question, man. It's hard, man, using AnyDesk and typing kubectl commands. I didn't get your question. I mean, what you're trying to say here. And another video, guys, I would like to talk. I have a new video on my channel. Please check out self-hosted runners. This particular video, you have $200 cloud credits for free. I try to explain about this in this particular video. If you are interested, if you are serious about learning DevOps, you can use that. Definitely, it would be very, very useful. You can start learning about that. And today, I don't see many comments from our subscribers. I don't know why, but yeah, I don't see many comments. I'm not sure if you guys did not comment or it's not visible here. So please, if you have any questions, I am open to answer your questions. Let me know if you have any specific questions that I need to answer. You can ask now. We have some time. Also, I would like to say, please do hands-on as much as possible, because this is where your real skills are tested. It will be very, very useful in interviews, of course. And one more important point, I'm not sure how many of you have seen my monitoring series, DevOps Home Lab monitoring, this particular series. This video also reached 1000 watch hours very recently. This is also very useful. I mean, if you have some experience, if you want to learn monitoring from scratch, then definitely please go through this video and do hands-on as much as possible. This is where you are going to learn a lot by doing hands-on. You can already see it has 11,000 views and 1000 watch hours. Many people did hands-on practice, and so many different comments I got on this video. You can check out. And one more video which I was talking about, Home Lab, this particular video, this is where you are going to learn on-prem stuff. You can create a virtual machine and you can do everything on your laptop without spending any money. And as I said, if you are interested in spinning up virtual machines, if you want to do more work, you do not have capacity on your laptop, please watch this video. We have limited offer here, $200 for our subscribers. So please check out the link and try to do hands-on as much as possible. I do not see any comments from a lot of you. So I guess I am going to stop this live for today, because I do not see comments from our subscribers. So I think, yeah, I'm going to stop the live for today. If you have any specific questions, you can drop me on Instagram, and I will try to answer maybe in our next live. That's it for today. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video.